Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox, and I'd like to welcome you to the Daily Compliance News. The Daily Compliance News is an offering of the Compliance Podcast Network. August 25, 2019, the Sunday Book Review edition of the Daily Compliance News. First up, in honor of our Texas summer and the heat, we take a look at The Mosquito, A Human History of Our Deadliest Predator by Timothy Wineguard. Why was gin and tonic such a popular cocktail for British colonists? What does Starbucks have to thank for its global domination? What has protected the lives of Pope for millennials? To answer to all of these questions and many more, and of course, what is your risk management protocol, is the mosquito. Across our planet since the dawn of humankind, this nefarious pest, roughly the size and weight of a grapeseed, has been on the forefront of human history as the Grim Reaper. The mosquito has determined the fates of empires, nations, raised and crippled economies, and decided the outcome of pivotal wars. So probably more than you knew about the little mosquito, but if you live in Texas, you know, or really anywhere else in the South, you understand the power of the mosquito. Next up, Cold Warriors by Duncan White, writers who waged the literary Cold War. In this brilliant and invigorating account of the great writers on both sides of the Iron Curtain who played the dangerous game of espionage, dissidence, and subversion that changed the course of the Cold War. However, during the Cold War, literature was both a sword and a noose. Novels, essays, and poems could win the hearts and minds of those caught between the competing creeds of capitalism and communism when there was such a competition. They could also lead to exile, imprisonment, or execution if they offended those in power. The clandestine intelligence services of the U.S., the Soviet Union, and Britain all had vast secret agents and propaganda networks to pump out their propaganda devoted to literary warfare. This book tells that tale, including 5 major writers: George Orwell, Stephen Spender, Mary McCarthy, Graham Greene, and Andrei Sanofsky. And it's full of a list of dazzling characters that you will certainly enjoy going forward. On a little bit lighter note, our next book is Legacy, One Family, A Cup of Tea, and the Company That Took on the World by Thomas Harding. This is the story of Lehman Gluckstein and his family who escaped pogroms of Eastern Europe and made their way to Whitechapel in London. There, starting with nothing, they worked tirelessly to pull themselves out of poverty, creating a small tobacco factory that quickly grew into one of the world's largest catering companies, J. Lyons. For over a century, Lyons was everywhere. Its restaurants and corner houses were on every high street, its coffee and tea in every cup, and its products of every home in Britain. By bringing the world to the British people, the company transformed the way we eat, the way we drink, and the way we are entertained, democratizing luxury and globalizing the British taste. It was a victory not easily won, but a lot of hard work, perseverance, and indomitable spirit in the face of repeated obstacles of poverty, hatred, and injustice. It's a tale of a rarely told immigrant's family that goes from rag to riches in the British dream. And we conclude with a new biography of Louis XIV, entitled King of the World, The Life of Louis XIV by Philip Mansel. Louis XIV has long fascinated me, and I hope he has fascinated you, the Sun King, in view of the current presidency of Donald Trump, who has announced himself to be the chosen one and apparently wants to do anything he thinks he can do. This is a good biography for someone who actually did have that much power and wielded that most effectively for the country of France during his long tenure as King of France. Louis XIV is endlessly fascinating, and I know you will enjoy this biography, even if the current chosen one pales next to the Sun King. Thank you. Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio.